Throughout the years of this century, the police of the city have earned a proud reputation. The immaculate precision of this parade held at the review field in Sefton Park pays tribute to a force that grew in responsibility and efficiency with the rapid growth of the city's boundaries. How many of us remember the sleeper coaches? Another idea that never really caught on. The luxurious coaches are really an attempt to attract passengers for the road transport undertakings that were for a time making quite a serious impact on the railway's monopoly for the carrying of goods and passengers. Ideas, serious and otherwise. And these were days too of new and changing records on land, sea and air. Although, to be honest, goodness knows what record was at stake when Dr. Bell and Mr. Lenny set off from Liverpool to cycle their way around the world. It might seem odd now, but it appeared to be a good idea at the time. Another pleasant memory was the unveiling in 1928 of a replica of the Peter Pan statue in Kensington Gardens, for which the children of Liverpool will always remember the kindness of the late George Audley. Meanwhile, the docks were being constantly improved in the drive to preserve Britain's place in world markets. And as ever, Lord Derby, popularly known as the King of Lancashire, was a prominent figure in these activities. These were the years of fierce competition when barriers were being erected against the old slogan of free trade. And if the docks were being improved, so were the roads which fed into them and veined the city. Long-distance haulage could not function over roads that had been built for horse transport. This was the opening of only a section of a new arterial road by a Lord Mayor who'd forced himself out of a sickbed to attend. Liverpool Cathedral, high on St. James's Mount, the scene here of a special service in 1929 at which were represented Boy Scouts from all over the world and attended by Lord Baden-Powell, had been rising slowly but surely throughout the whole of this century. The foundation stone had been laid by King Edward VII in the year 1904, and building continued uninterrupted throughout the First World War. The architect was a young man in his early 20s when his plans were chosen from a public competition. And as Sir Giles Gilbert Scott, he has witnessed his dream as it gradually approached fruition. Built of sandstone, quarried at Woolton within the city boundary, the cathedral today stands testimony to men's faith and a tribute to British craftsmanship. On the 5th of June 1933, the hottest day of a very hot summer, the foundation stone of the new Roman Catholic Cathedral was laid and blessed by the Archbishop of Liverpool before a congregation of 40,000. The address was given by His Eminence Cardinal McCrory, Papal Legate. Work on this lovely cathedral was interrupted by the war, but has since recommenced on a modified plan. From places of spiritual guidance to a school for youngsters destined for a life at sea, the training ship Conway. And one of the highlights of this course was a visit by the Prince of Wales, now the Duke of Windsor. Liverpool, always conscious of the value of the export market and selling Britain to the world, takes a leaf from its own book in 1931 and sends its Lord Mayor on a goodwill visit to New York. He was entertained there by the Mayor of New York, Jimmy Walker. Other distinguished visitors this time to Liverpool were the Duke and Duchess of York, later to become King George VI and Queen Elizabeth. In 1932, they opened a £150,000 hospital for women. Only a few years before, they'd opened the York House Boys Club, part of the university settlement. The university had been granted its charter in 1903 and already had a fine record. Meanwhile, the city was keeping abreast of the trend towards flying and air travel, and Speke Airport was opened by Lord Londonderry, Secretary of State for Air. 30,000 people turned up to watch the ceremony, but it was estimated that there were even larger numbers on the roads leading to the airport. The Midland and Scottish Air Ferry Service connecting Liverpool with Glasgow, Belfast and London was opened by the Right Honourable J. Ramsay MacDonald. In 1933, Everton won the FA Cup, an historic occasion in more ways than one, because it was the first time players were numbered, and the last time they were numbered from 1 to 22. At Wembley, the Toffees, led by the great Dixie Dean, overwhelmed Manchester City by 3-0. Strangely enough, when Everton returned to Liverpool, they were driven to Goodison Park in the same four-in-hand and by the same coach driver who'd performed the task for the victorious team of 1906. A face soccer fans will never forget, perhaps the greatest centre-forward of our time, Dixie Dean. In the same year, Gordon Richards at Aintree broke Fred Archer's record of 246 winners, established in 1885. Sir Gordon, as he now is, went on to ride 259 winners, and at one time during the previous month, this great jockey rode 12 successive winners.